Hope just landed in Rome, nigga. All hell Caesar's home, niggas. Chin Don, Ciao Bella. Come money dance with a good fella. Hope keep getting that De Niro got it. Even if a nigga gotta rob it, get it. Blackjack in a casino. A nigga got a limited credit. A nigga got a lot of vendettas. But we the black mob, we gon' set it off. Peel off in the Lamborghini. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego back with some more boxing. Bumping the new Jay-Z, Magna Carta, Holy Grail. Dope album. Support good music. I like it. So make sure you go ahead and cop that. Magna Carta, Blue Ivy, that's my daughter. My eyes water, I author. Sorry, I just like Jay-Z. Anyway, back to boxing. I did want to talk about a fight that is coming up. Ruslan Provodnikov, the Rockin' Rushy comrade. He's set to fight Mike Alvarado on October 19th. Great news for the sport of boxing. I want to give some early insight to this fight. Great fight. I mean, I didn't really expect it. I want to see it, though. I mean, this is a fight that I definitely want to see. Alvarado has definitely gained a lot of respect in the eyes of boxing fans for his vicious fights with Brandon Rios. Also, fights with Bradis Prescott, where he weathered the early storm. His face was pretty busted up, and he almost got stopped. And he weathered that storm and went on to defeat Bradis Prescott. This is a very tough fight for both fighters. Mike Alvarado, I would say, would beat Ruslan Provodnikov in the boxing department. I think he has more. I don't think he has as much footwork as some people give him credit for. Mike Alvarado, his feet, sometimes they look a little bit sloppy. But, again, he did enough to win and stay out of the way of Brandon Rios in their second fight. And Brandon Rios is also a fighter who's excellent at cutting off the ring. This just goes to show you that there is a little bit of top-ranked propaganda. Because I remember Bob Arum and Top Rank releasing a statement saying the reason that Mike Alvarado is not getting the shot at Pacquiao is because Alvarado is hurt and he sustained some kind of injury in the rematch with Rios, and they didn't want to schedule a fight with the winner, aka Mike Alvarado, and Pacquiao contingent on his injury. And now all of a sudden, Ruslan Provodnikov and Mike Alvarado are fighting in October. And I believe Brandon Rios and Pacquiao are fighting in Macau, China in October. So if this fights take time to make. You have to negotiate. You have to send deals. Both fighters have to be ready. Both fighters have to, or fighters' teams have to sit on the drawing board and, you know what I mean, and go back and forth. So this just leads me to believe that Top Rank, Bob Arum, they taught all of them. They wanted to make Brandon Rios versus Manny Pacquiao as opposed to Mike Alvarado versus Manny Pacquiao. They're pushing it as a fan-friendly fight, which it is. Brandon Rios is a tough competitor, even though he's stationary and more one-dimensional. And Pacquiao's coming off a devastating loss. I don't think they're in a rush to put Pacquiao in there with somebody who is a better boxer. Mike Alvarado has more boxing movement, I would say, than Brandon Rios. Brandon Rios is very stationary, and I would say Mike Alvarado is a tad bit faster as well. So they don't want to chance Pacquiao losing to someone just from getting outboxed. If Pacquiao loses to Brandon Rios, it's probably going to be because he got knocked out again, or stopped, as opposed to him getting outboxed. I don't see Brandon Rios outboxing Pacquiao. But Pacquiao's off back-to-back losses, one to Timothy Bradley, whether you agree or not, and also, obviously, Juan Manuel Marquez knocking him out in the 6th round. So if he were to go the distance with Mike Alvarado and just get outboxed, which is, I mean, it's not like it's easy just to outbox Pacquiao, but if you were to give anybody a shot between Mike Alvarado and Brandon Rios, I would say Mike Alvarado clearly has more of the movement and he's less stationary than Brandon Rios. So if either one of them could outbox Pacquiao or damage Pacquiao or Pacquiao off a knockout, it would be Mike Alvarado. Rios is very easy to hit. He's very hittable. He's very stationary. So we'll see. But Top Rank was saying that Mike Alvarado and Pacquiao wasn't made because Alvarado was hurt and he was healing, and now he's fighting in the same month that Brandon Rios is fighting in Macau, China, which leads me to believe that all along they wanted Brandon Rios to fight Pacquiao, because that was the fight that was being talked about even before the rematch with Alvarado and Rios. I think they expected Rios to win. Based on what happened in the first fight, they didn't think that Alvarado would be able to stay out of a slugfest, and he would end up getting caught somewhere along the line or stopped or lose a decision. Somehow, some way he would lose to Rios, and they were already putting their money in the bank trying to make Rios, who has a bigger fan base, in my opinion, than Mike Alvarado. Not taking anything away from Alvarado, but Rios is bilingual. I mean, I don't know if Mike Alvarado is bilingual, but I know Rios is. He's from California. I would just say overall he's a bigger fan base. So it just leads me to believe again that Top Rank wanted to make this fight all along. Their plans were almost foiled, and then they came up with an excuse as to why they are having the loser fight Pacquiao. Two losers fighting. Pacquiao lost his last fight. Rios lost his last fight, as opposed to the winner getting that deal. Either way, I'm okay with it, just because I mean they're gonna do what they want to do, and we'll see how much Pacquiao has left. And Rios is always a fun watch. As far as Mike Alvarado and Ruslan Provodnikov, this is a good fight. Mike Alvarado showed he is tough. He has heart. He doesn't just give up. You're gonna have to beat him up. Alvarado, again, weathered the storm with Bradis Prescott. He went to war with Brandon Rios in their first fight. Caught Brandon Rios with a lot, but through attrition and as the rounds went on, it was too much and he got stopped. He showed that he can be hurt early. In the round 2, I think, Rios hit him with this like pop-up jab that fucked him up. His feet looked like Bambi, like a deer, like he lost his footing and his legs were messed up. And again, he weathered that storm, went on to outbox and just overall win a decision over Rios. So Ruslan Provodnikov, another fighter who is lost, but he's an exciting fighter. He gave Timothy Bradley work. He definitely pushed Bradley to the brink. Even though Bradley fought a dumb fight, I mean, you can't discredit Ruslan Provodnikov for his performance and being able to be a guy who fought on ESPN Friday Night Fights, relatively unknown, and gave an undefeated, accomplished fighter like Timothy Bradley problems. Bradley has very solid resume. He has a lot of names. Casamayor, who you can argue he was past his best, but it's still a name, especially for a no puncher like Bradley, someone with light punching power. He's been in there with the Devin Alexanders. He's been in there with the Pacquiao. So Ruslan Provodnikov honestly had Bradley hurt more than Pacquiao did. If you watch both fights closely, I mean, it's pretty obvious. So I like this fight, Mike Alvarado versus Ruslan Provodnikov. We will see how Alvarado deals with the pressure and the punching power and the sheer force and power of a fighter like Ruslan Provodnikov, who seems hungry. He seems upset that he lost to Timothy Bradley. So we'll see what he does next. Can he outbox a fighter like Ruslan Provodnikov? As far as Ruslan Provodnikov, again, he's a fun watch. Prior to the Bradley fight, I hadn't seen much of him, but he gained my respect just from the Bradley performance. Again, being relatively unknown, someone expected to lose, just an opponent, and he made it a brawl and had Bradley hurt several times, rounds 1, 2, 6, 12, I believe, off the top of my head. So this is a fun little fight. I really want to see this. I'm sure it'll be on HBO. It's not going to be a pay-per-view kind of deal, and we will see who wins and who's victorious. As far as Ruslan Provodnikov, he needs to work on his stamina, pulling the trigger. He had Bradley out on his feet. Bradley looked on the ropes cross-eyed, and he was just swinging just out of, it looked like instinct and reflex, but he was done. He was toast, and Ruslan looked like he punched himself out, couldn't pull the trigger, lost almost all of the middle rounds except for maybe round 6, I think it was, and he just couldn't pull the trigger. And out of desperation, he had to mount an attack late and try to knock Bradley out, and he came close in rounds 12 with pressure. But in the fight game against world-class opponents, you have to be a little bit more consistent than that. if you get someone hurt, you got to finish them off. You have to work on being a better finisher. You have to condition your body to go 12 rounds and to throw a lot of punches. So if Ruslan gets Alvarado hurt, he's going to have to be able to pull the trigger, and he's going to do that with conditioning, strength and conditioning, better regimen, maybe train in the mountains to adjust him to different altitudes and get his breathing right, because he looked pretty winded throughout the middle rounds of the Ruslan Provodnikov fight. I think the round after he had Bradley devastatingly hurt in the first 2 rounds, I think round 3 he threw like 15 punches. It's not going to cut it. You can't fight world-class opponents and expect to beat them off of 15 punches in a round. I mean, Mike Alvarado just went the distance with Brandon Rios, another hard hitter, and Rios threw a whole hell of a lot more punches. And again, Rios is excellent at cutting off the ring. So Manny Pacquiao, Macau China, Brandon Rios, and it looks like Ruslan Provodnikov. Another exciting fight. Like I said, I'm all for it. Anxious to see the exact weight limit. I know Ruslan went up to fight Bradley at 147. Alvarado fights at 140. So I'm wondering if Ruslan has no problem coming back down after going up in weight. I haven't heard the details on that, but as I get more information, I will let you guys know. Again, awesome fight. Looking forward to it. Boxing is just getting better and better in the following months. 2013 has been a hell of a year, and we got some great fights on the roster, on the schedule. So let me know what you guys think of this. Ruslan Provodnikov versus Mike Alvarado, October 19th. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego, signing off.